Hello, reporter room investigators. I am here with great news. Charlotte has been found alive and the suspect has been placed under arrest. I'm sorry I'm coming in just a couple of minutes late, but I just saw that she was found and I needed to pull as much information as I could. So this is going to be a breaking news. Um, Let me take the banner down because we know that she has been found. I am so relieved and happy. So let's dig into what is really going on here. Welcome to all of you. I'm really glad to see you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so relieved that she's been found. They've arrested who got it. You guys did it. You guys did it. Getting the word out there. So she has been found. The suspect has been placed under arrest. So praise God is good. And I just thank you guys so much because honestly, I don't know if this would have happened if it wouldn't have been for you guys. I'm just clicking through. Hello, I'm glad you guys are here. So let's dig into what is going on. There's going to be breaking news all through this. Um, she has been found. I have the article up here and I have other articles as well. There are just what's happening right now is that they're just finding out that she's been found. The Amber Alert has been taken down and that's all that's come out so far. So we're going to have stuff coming out while I'm live with you. Let's start with what we know so far. I've found 3 different news sources that are reporting this. So Charlotte Sena has been found alive and in good health, and the suspect is in custody. This has been confirmed by state police in New York. They say, quote, Charlotte Sena has been located in good health. A suspect is in custody. This is still an active investigation. More details will be released, and I'm going to be bringing them to you as they become available at New York State Police. That's nsypnews.com. I'm going to be going there in just a second to just stay up on all of the information. So this report came in after I was editing a video about her still being missing and then went live with everything pulled for the missing case, and then this just broke as I was about to go live. So this is being reported. It says breaking: Charlotte Sena has been found alive. Sources say to News Channel 13. Mark McMillan. More to come. The television station reported it on Facebook. So this is so great. The Amber Alert for Charlotte was canceled. As the news broke, we don't know who but they got him. They got him. Um, so the news that Charlotte was found came in right after the Amber Alert. So first the Amber Alert was canceled. So everybody was like, what's going on? And this was according to missingkids.org, which is a verified account on Twitter. And then here it is, Amber Alert that has been canceled. Okay, so there's the receipts. The Amber Alert was, so we don't know who did it or why. We just know that she's been found safe and that she's okay. So we know she disappeared while riding her bike on the loop at the New York State Park where she was camping with her family. And we saw the press conference yesterday. I brought that to you. Let me go ahead to this New York website, the New York State Police website, and grab this, and just so I have all the latest updates coming right from them, because that's where everybody's going to be pulling their sources from. So let me put that in and we're going to pull that up. I'm so excited, you guys. This is like the best day ever. Thank you so much to everybody who helped to get her name out there yesterday. You guys did this. You guys did this, and credit to law enforcement. So I'm trying to go to their site right now. Let me share this next one with you. Hang on, I'm just grabbing it. So this is just so great. What a great chance to. Okay, so this is another major news outlet reporting this. Let me show you. This says Charlotte Sena disappeared while riding her bike on the loop in New York State, where she was camping with her family. And it just says that she has been found alive. Let me grab the next one. I'm just going to go through all of these. As the news rolls in, we're going to be learning about all of this together. So I'm so grateful to all of you guys, because maybe this would not have happened if it wouldn't have been for you. You guys got her name out there. We got her image out there. If they tried to dye her hair, we were on it. So missing girl found alive. This is WNTY. And all we know is missing girl Charlotte Sena has been found alive. Sources tell News 13, this is the same source, suspect is in custody, and will bring you breaking news. All right, so I am going to be pulling up. So we're going to be literally breaking news as we go tonight. So this is all that we know so far. We just know that she has been found alive. She is safe. They have her in custody. They have the guy who did this in custody. Here's another article. Let me pull this up. And we're doing this live on the fly. Okay. Make sure I'm sharing the right one. Yeah, this one. Okay. Can you guys see it? Okay, so this says missing 9-year-old Charlotte Sena found alive and in good health. So this article just came out. Charlotte, a 9-year-old who vanished from on Saturday after going on a bike ride in the park. That's the Moreau State Park in upstate New York. It's just about 45 minutes north of Albany, was found alive and in good health on Monday. Police have confirmed this to the Daily Beast. In a brief statement, the New York State Police announced that Charlotte Sena was found safe and said that a suspect was in custody. Connection to her disappearance, no other details have been provided. So you guys, we're going to be like literally just watching for information as it rolls in together. So this is just, I mean, can you guys hear me okay? Please, yeah, please hit the thumbs up. So this is great news. And then the CNN website, let me go pull that next. And we're going to pull stuff as we go tonight. And as information comes in, I am going to be sharing it with you. Okay, so here we go. Let's pull this one up. Can you guys see it? Okay, so this says that suspect in custody, a 9-year-old girl found safe after vanishing on a New York camping trip, police say. A 9-year-old girl has been found safe after vanishing in upstate New York on a camping trip, and the suspect is in custody. Charlotte Sena has been located and in good health, the New York State Police said in a news release on Monday. A suspect is in custody. This is still an active investigation. The family of Charlotte Sena, who went missing on Saturday evening in upstate New York, was asking for public health as authorities ramped up. And boy, did you guys ever respond. You guys got it out there. You got her information. It was all over Facebook. There was no way this guy was going to be able to get very far with her. We had photos with her blonde hair, photos with brown hair. So police did believe that she was in imminent danger. So the Amber Alert was taken down. It was taken down. So let me grab the next one. I'm just going to head over really quick. And pull up the next thing. And I'm just looking for anything that tells me, any kind of news outlet that tells me that she is alive. I'm just looking to see if anybody else, any of major news outlet is going live with it. I don't see anybody going live, probably because we don't have much more than that to share other than that she was found. So we know that the suspect was found. We just don't know much more than that right this second because it's still considered an active investigation. So I'm just looking. Yeah, most of the news outlets that are still up are still are just reporting that they're still looking for her. They don't have that she's been found. And I'm struggling to find stuff that she has been found alive. But I'm going to find some more information because we're going to break this as we go. I'm just so excited, you guys. This is such great news for everybody that was involved in this. For those of you that are not familiar with this case, everybody hopped on board and worked really hard to find this little girl. She went missing from Lake Moreau State Park on Saturday. She went on a biking ride. She had been with her parents. Her mom is named Trish. Her dad is named David. Her two siblings, both girls. She's in the middle. She's a middle child. She has an older and younger. They had all just come back from a bike ride, and she wanted to take a bike ride around the loop by herself. And after about 15 minutes, when she didn't return, her parents immediately began to look for her. Well, they could not find her, and the campers began to help also. So when they found her bike and Charlotte was not there and her bike helmet was not there, they immediately called 911. And I had so much credit to her parents for calling 911 because I think this made such a major difference to this case. I think that had they not been so prompt in calling 911, then law enforcement wouldn't have been on it. We knew stuff was happening today because the FBI got brought in this morning on the case. And so I knew that they thought it was an abduction. And that, I saw people saying, well, it might not be an abduction. I thought it was when I saw that they had brought in the FBI on the case. I thought they do think it's an abduction at this point. So they did find her. They did find her alive. And I think we can all just be just so grateful that everybody's, the FBI was on it, Jane. They were on it. So this is going to be a very interactive live stream. We're going to be going and picking up stuff. I had nightmares too, Leslie. Respect to law enforcement. Yes, absolutely. They did a great job. They got the guy that took her, and it was an abduction. And they were able to also get her safe and sound. She is safe. She is sound. And we are going to be doing breaking news as we go into this. So I'm just going to hop on Twitter here. So there's still lots of stuff of her being missing. And I'm going to pull this up. Bear with me today, guys. This is just all breaking. Here's the New York State Police on Twitter. All right, let me share this one. Okay. So, can you guys see that? All right, so I'm on Twitter. So we have the New York State Police official website, and they have canceled the Amber Alert. Charlotte has been found safe and in good health. So this has all happened just in the last few moments. An hour ago, they were telling us that the search for Charlotte was continuing. The search was being led by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation. Forest rangers included 400 certified search and rescue personnel. Thank you to those working to bring Charlotte home. So that was 1 hour ago. And then all of a sudden, 23 minutes ago, just as I was about to go live, we see that Charlotte has been found safe. So everybody is just, if you go through, everybody's just so happy. It's just such great news. So that's their official post. I just want to show you the receipts that she really has been found. And I'm going to go over to JB's Twitter for just a second. Because when they go live, we're going to go live with them. They're going to be launching a live soon. So we're going to be watching out for that. I'm going to just go ahead and pop over to them. So when they go live, we're live also with them. And so we're going to go live with WFLA as they go live with more information. I'm pulling that up now. And have it ready for you guys. So he's going to be coming up live in just a few moments. I will bring it to you as we get it. So he is also reporting out that Charlotte Sena found safe, suspect arrested. And that's really all we know so far. That's all we have. We just know that she's been found safe. The feds don't mess around. That they will land the plane on your car if it's in this site. If he's a repeat offender, maybe he'll stay in this time. Yes, I hope so too. Charlotte found safe. What an amazing day. New York State Police did such an amazing job. Kudos to the FBI as well. That's I give so much props. B. Rando, hey, good to see you. Mother reporting this so quickly was so important. A wise and loving mother. It really was. I think that the fact that mom got out there and dad got out there, and when they didn't find her and they found the bike without her, they didn't mess around. They immediately called 911. And then I give so much credit to the New York State Police. They were all over it. The governor got on board. I think they knew that it was an abduction right out of the gate. They suspected strongly that it was an abduction. I told you last night when they brought in a technology expert that I thought that they were probably dumping all of the phones. But so apparently they cleared the campsite, but let some of Charlotte's family say, yeah, they emptied out the park. And I know they were probably using thermal heat imaging so that if he was in there with her, they would be able to find him. We just don't know how yet. Local news reported found safe and healthy. Yes. And I'm just so happy. Amy Celeste says they hauled out the tech drones quickly. And Tara said, I have chills all over. Lord, our Lord is an awesome Lord. It's just, I mean, I just can't even tell you how happy I am. I'm going to bring you more details as they come in. Okay. I'm like going to be bringing you more details as they come in. I'm not messing around. I am pulling up. I'm on YouTube right now. And I'm looking for breaking news. And it just seems like everybody's, in kind of a holding pattern because we don't know that much about where she is. So this is I just want you to know I am on this. This is the site for WFLA. Okay, we're just waiting for them to start streaming. Can you guys see it okay? So we're just waiting for them to restart their show. And we are going to bring it to you. So I'm just like super, super excited. Let me pull this up too. So if you're just joining me, Charlotte Sena was found alive. She is safe and sound. They also got the guy who took her. They got the guy who took her. They got him. And so this is such great news for her. I am like literally just pulling up information. Everybody's kind of holding because we don't, all we know right now is that she has been found. We don't have any more information yet. So I'm just searching out any other articles. To see what else I can find while we're waiting for WFLA. To see what else I can share with you guys on this. So we're just going to do this together. Okay. So I am holding with the WFLA hold. So I will be doing that in just a second. But she has been found alive and in good health. The 9-year-old who vanished on Saturday after going on a bike ride in upstate New York was found alive and in good health Monday. Police confirmed to the Daily Beast. If you're just joining me, the New York State Police announced that Charlotte was safe and said the suspect was in custody in connection to her disappearance. So they got the guy. No other details have been provided. And I am actively looking for any kind of details on this. So let me pull up another one. I'm super excited, you guys. So we're just waiting. I just want you to know I am here waiting for WFLA to go live so I can bring it to you guys. But I'm pulling up other articles to see what else I can find along the way. I have the Independence up, so let me share this one with you. Let's see what they have to say. Can you guys see it okay? Okay. So this is another article that we have. I'm just going to pull up everything as it comes in, okay? Charlotte Sena has been found alive and in good health after the 9-year-old went missing on a camping trip in New York. Police confirmed on Monday evening. Charlotte disappeared after going on a solo bike ride around the Moreau Lake State Park in Saratoga County on Saturday evening, where she was staying with her family and friends. New York State Police said on Monday that a suspect was in custody and that it remained an ongoing investigation. The little girl was reported missing by her parents minutes after the group found her bike abandoned with no sign of Charlotte nearby. Last evening, she went out on a bike ride. It wasn't dark, right around dinner time, and did a couple of loops with close friends that she considers her cousins. The New York Governor, Kathy Hochul, I hope I'm saying her name correctly, said in a Saturday afternoon news conference, I played that for you yesterday, after she decided to go around True Bay, she said that she just wanted to go around one more time, be that big girl, do it by herself. Literally 15 minutes later, she hadn't come back yet. This is according to the governor, and that's when the nightmare begins. Police have warned that it's quite possible that she had been abducted. So I don't know how they knew, except for the fact that I think some things that, like, to me really stood out was the fact that her helmet wasn't with the bike. If she'd just gotten off to wander around or to explore, one, I think she would have told her parents because they were expecting her just to come right back. But two, I think she would have taken her bike helmet off. I don't think she would have and left it with the bike. And we still don't know how the bike was found. Was it found lying on its side? Was it found with the kickstand in place? We don't know that yet. An Amber Alert was issued right away by law enforcement, telling about the abduction. They did urge that they leave it to professionals to search, as Moreau Lake State Park closed. They emptied out the park yesterday to be able to search it. I have a feeling that they were going in with heat imaging, but they also cleared out the park so that they could. I mean, it is a big park. So her parents got alarmed when she didn't come back in 15 minutes, and they didn't wait around to see what was going to happen. They immediately went looking for her, and all the other campers that were nearby also aided in helping to look for Charlotte. And when they found Charlotte's bike, and they did not find Charlotte or her bike helmet with that bike, immediately her mom, Trisha, picked up the phone and dialed 911. That was around 6:45 a.m. And these police were so on it. They were there by 7 p.m. They issued that Amber Alert right away. Um, and it's just such a relief that she was found missing. So this photo was released for Charlotte. They had a GoFundMe that just started, and she has been found. If you're just joining me, she has been found safe. I'm going to pull up the next article for you guys. I'm just going to keep pulling up articles until we get a live newscast on this. So let me pull the next one up. And I'm just going to ask you to bear with me. I'm going to be bringing you everything as it's available. And everybody right now is just coming on. She's found safe. She's found safe. She's found safe. And here is the New York Post. Let me share this one with you now. So I'm going to just be sharing everything as it comes available for you guys. So let me grab this one. Okay. Can you guys see that okay? Let me pull it up. So this says, Charlotte Sena, 9-year-old, feared to have been abducted, and she was abducted because they got whoever did this. In upstate New York, found a live suspect in custody. New York State Police have also announced that the suspect involved in her disappearance is in custody. The 9-year-old girl who vanished from upstate New York has been found safe, and the suspect involved in her disappearance in custody, officials announced Monday. I showed you, they just announced that about 25 minutes ago. Charlotte Sena is, quote, in good health. She went missing during a bike ride while camping with her family at the Moreau Lake State Park on Saturday, according to New York State Police. Charlotte's mom feared that she was trusting her daughter, that trusting her daughter had that, led to her abduction on the Lupe. So I don't know if this was somebody that was stalking the family, kind of lurking around, looking at images on social media and became fixated on her, followed them to the state park because they live very close to that state park. I'm not going to say where they live, but they live, within a half-hour drive, a little less than that, to the state park. And so I don't know if this was somebody that was in their periphery that saw her on social media, or if this was someone that just saw them camping and saw an opportunity and pounced. But I'm wondering if it was somewhat planned out. So Charlotte's mom, her name is Trisha. Her dad's name is David. The mom was really worried that trusting her daughter, that this had led to her abduction. You could just imagine as upset and as all of you guys were, how much her mom was upset. State police conducted an 18-hour search. They did longer than that. And we said yesterday that the first 48 hours were so critical. And then they got her just right within that 48 hours. And again, I give so much credit to you guys because I really think that if it wasn't for you guys, I don't know if we would have found Charlotte this quickly. Let me pull up the next article for you guys. I am just pulling up everything as it's breaking. I'm pulling it up for you guys as we're live. We're just going to do all of this together. Okay, this is the New York Daily News. So I'm going to share this with you as well. Can you guys see that okay? It does remind me of Cleo Smith. I thought we could have a good outcome if we could get the word out there. And I'm just so grateful to all of you guys. A lot of you guys that are in the chat played such a major role in finding her. You got her name. I just want to give you guys credit where credit is due. You guys got her name all over social media. You guys had her on Facebook. You had her on your personal Facebook pages. You guys were notifying friends and relatives and people that lived in that area to start pulling dash cam, doorbell cam. You guys got her name out onto Twitter, onto Reddit. You did such a great job. I just want to give credit where credit is due, because I think that without everybody jumping in there, and so much credit to law enforcement and credit to her parents for jumping on this so quickly. They didn't mess around. I do want to just say thank you. I'm going to go through this article with you guys. I want to say thank you to all of our viewers, our subscribers, our channel members, and our mods. I'm going to go through all that, but I want to go through this news article with you guys. So let's pull this up. So she was found, 9-year-old Charlotte Sena, found safe and healthy after going missing from New York Park. The 9-year-old, who disappeared on a family camping trip in an upstate New York park, was found alive, according to officials. I showed you their post on Twitter. Charlotte was believed to have been abducted about 40 miles north of Albany in Moreau Lake State Park. She went for a bike ride. She was just on a loop. She just was making a loop around that campground. And they posted in a tweet on Monday. I showed you the tweet. It was posted about 25 minutes ago. If you're just joining us, New York State Police said Charlotte had, quote, been found safe and in good health. It wasn't immediately clear where she was found, but they got the abductor also. So we know that this is major. Let me go ahead and pull up the next one. I'm just pulling up everything as we get it. This is all just coming in brand new. This is NBC. Okay. Can you guys see that okay? So this is, I have so many tabs open right now. I just want to make sure I'm showing you guys the same tab as the one I'm looking at. Okay. So you guys can see this. Okay. So, all right, let's go through this one. So this one says, let's see if the girl who disappeared in New York State Park is found alive, police say. 9-year-old girl who authorities suspected was abducted on Saturday in upstate New York State Park was found alive, state police said Monday night. Quote, Charlotte Sena has been located and in good health, state police said in a statement. The suspect is in custody. So they got him. They got the guy. I'm like, so he won't be able to get any more kids. No information was immediately available about how she was found or who the suspect is. I mean, I think that's what all of us want to know. How did they catch him? Was it that technology expert? We know that they were dumping all of the cameras. Now, I had done some research. I was going to bring that to you tonight. That park does have nature cams. So they do have cameras set up in that park. I don't know how active they were or how much they've been maintained, but I had been able to find that. I was going to bring you that tonight when the live I prepared to do is not the live that we're doing, because obviously just as I was about to go live, I found out she had been found, and I'm so thankful that this is the live that we get to do tonight instead of the one I had planned. So New York Governor Kathy Hochul praised investigators on social media for a swift resolution and said, quote, after a 48-hour long search. And so they got her within that. We talked yesterday about how critical that 48-hour window is. After a 48-hour long search, Charlotte Sena has been found. Extremely grateful to the New York State Police, New York State Parks Police, and all of our partners who worked tirelessly to locate Charlotte and ensure she would return home safely to her family. She posted this on Twitter. So all we know so far is that Charlotte went riding on a bike. She was just taking one little lap around the loop, the camping ground loop I showed you yesterday. And right before I was about to go live, we found out that this precious, beautiful little 9-year-old girl who was just elected to student council, she's in 4th grade, was abducted, but she was found safe and sound. Thanks to all of you guys. Thanks to law enforcement for helping to get the word out. So if you're just joining me, that state police, she was last seen around 6:15 on Saturday night. Her parents and her 2 sisters, she has an older sister and a younger sister. They had all just gotten back from a nice family bike ride. They were camping in this beautiful campground at the Lake Moreau State Park in upstate New York. And they live nearby. So this was an area they were familiar with. She wanted to do one loop by herself on her bike. They said that was fine. But as I showed you yesterday, it really is a heavily wooded area. Well, she didn't come back. And after 15 minutes, when she didn't come back, her parents got out, started looking for her, and enlisted other campers to start looking for her. They didn't find her. They found her bike. And we still don't know if the bike had its kickstand in place. We still don't know if the bike was lying down. Was the bike upright? Was the bike on the road? Was the bike on the loop? Was the bike in the bushes? We don't know. Um, but they did know that, and law enforcement has kept that to themselves. We do know that she had her helmet on her. And I think a lot of us felt like the fact that they had an Amber Alert so quickly, and the fact that the bike was found, and we still don't know how the bike was found. But something in that alerted law enforcement to the fact that they thought it was an abduction. They were right. They were right. It was an abduction, and they got the guy that abducted her. So they got that Amber Alert out. Her mom called 911 as soon as they found the bike around 6:45. So she'd only been missing 30 minutes. Law enforcement arrived 15 minutes later, and the search began. And as I shared with you yesterday, the first 48 hours are so critical in these missing person cases. They are so crucial to being able to find out what happened. Thankfully, um, thankfully, they did find her safe and sound. They got the guy that took her, and I am literally just pulling up stuff as it comes up. This is one of the most recent ones I could find. So let me share this one with you. Just want to make sure you guys can see it. Okay, so this one is police say that Charlotte Sena found in good health, suspect arrested, overjoyed. Overjoyed. Can you imagine how excited and happy her parents are tonight? How excited and happy her sisters are tonight? I mean, gosh. So Charlotte Sena has been located in good health. Suspect is in custody. This is still an active investigation. So here's the governor's statement from Twitter. She said, "I promised Charlotte's parents we would get her back. I'm overjoyed with this news." So here is her tweet. Let me just grab that. Let me share this with you. Okay, so you guys can see that. I'm just literally bringing you all the breaking news as it comes in. So this is the governor. I just want to say hello. I'm sorry, I'm like not trying to be unsocial. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Kami. Hi, Shrada. Our head mod is here. Sixth Sense Amelia. Thank you to all of our mods. Sonia's here. Kami's here. Jody is here. Kami is here. So we have such a great group. So this is the tweet from the governor of New York. She got personally involved in this. She's a mom, right? I think anybody who's a parent, a mom or a dad, your heart just goes out to you. She's a mom. After a 48-hour long search, Charlotte Sena has been found. Extremely grateful to the New York State Police, the New York State Parks Police, and all of our partners who worked tirelessly to locate Charlotte and ensure she could return home safely. So I think this is just such great news. I'm following also the New York State Police. They also canceled that Amber Alert. So this happened 47 minutes ago. So this is all just happening because an hour ago, they were telling us that the extensive search for Charlotte Sena continues. The search, which is being led by the New York State Department of Environmental Conservatism, forest rangers, includes 400 certified search and personal rescue personnel. Thank you to those working to bring Charlotte home. And then we got this Amber Alert update. The Amber Alert has been canceled. Charlotte has been found safe and in good health. So much props to you guys, because I really do feel like without you guys, I just don't know if this would have happened. So I'm just going to continue to pull up information as we have it. I'm literally just pulling up the latest articles. Okay, this is the Huffington Post. So they are reporting that the 9-year-old girl found alive after disappearing from the campground. This is an update. New York State Police said on Monday that a 9-year-old girl went missing on Saturday evening while camping with her family at Moreau. They were saying friends and family. My understanding was just her parents and her 2 sisters at Moreau Lake State Park. Has been found alive. Charlotte Sena was last seen on her bicycle around 6:15 p.m. on Saturday night after going for a bike ride wearing an orange tie-dye Pokémon shirt. I solved the issue of the orange. It was tie-dyed, but it was orange, pink, and yellow tie-dyed. And so this is just all we know. I'm just literally pulling up the articles as they're coming in, just to keep you guys up to date on everything. And I'm on the site with Twitter looking at the New York State Police, so as they update stuff, I can update you with it. So let me find the next one. We're going to just keep going through this as more information becomes available to us. So that's all we know. And I think New York State Police are being quiet because this is an active investigation. This is all breaking news. This is all happening right now. So the 9-year-old who authorities suspected was abducted on Saturday in upstate New York was found alive, state police say on Monday. Charlotte Sena has been located in good health, the state police said in a statement. I read that to you from Twitter. A suspect is in custody, state police say. No other information was immediately available about how she was found or who the suspect is. I think that's going to be the big question. How did they find her? Where did they find her? Who had her? NBC News correspondent Kristen Dahlgren posted a video on social media of the girl's family clapping and cheering to the news Monday night that Charlotte was found safe. Multiple. Let me see if I can find that video for you guys. Let me grab that and see if I can find it. I am going to see if I can pull that up. See where is this? They don't say where it is. Nope, this is just pulling up the journalist herself. Yeah, and the article that I'm sharing with you right now. So I don't know where. I would love to see video of the family clapping. I would love to bring you that. So much credit to you guys. You guys were on this case. You guys were part of it. You guys made such a big difference. I am following the New York State Police on Twitter. I'm looking for, I'm literally just refreshing the tab. I am looking for any updates because I think it's going to come right here from the New York State Police. And we don't have anything yet, but I am watching all of the major sites. I am looking for any kind of new articles on everything to bring you guys. I'm looking for anything that's newer, like in the last few minutes. Here's another outlet. Okay, this is WPTV. They say New York authorities missing 9-year-old Charlotte Sena found safe. She went missing during a camping trip with her family in upstate New York. Over 100 people joined the search before she was found. And by today, from what we learned today, from the different articles that we've gone through, it's actually more than 100. It was 400 that they got going today, and they brought the FBI in. And I think when I saw they brought the FBI in, I thought, oh my gosh, it is an abduction. They do think it's an abduction. So New York police announced a missing 9-year-old girl who vanished during a camping trip with her family has been found safe. Police say that the girl was located and in good health. Police say they were conducting an active investigation and have signaled that they expected to deliver more details on the case. So we are just waiting for more details on this case. That is what we are looking for. That is what I'm actively looking for. If you see me, I'm not making eye contact with you, it's because I am actively refreshing the page on Twitter and also on the news articles. I'm just looking to bring you everything that's available on this case. I think everybody wants to know how How did they find her? Where did they find her? How long did it take them to catch this guy? Um, let me show you this one. Okay, this is another article. Charlotte Sena found safe in New York after search for the suspect. And that is the New York governor that you heard speaking. She promised the family that she was going to find Charlotte. She promised that she was going to find her. She kept her word. And I am watching the New York State Police site on Twitter because I think if there's anything new, it will come up here first as news breaks. I think they will post it, and they have not posted anything since they just alerted all of us that she is alive. But I'm also continuing to search on um, the news as well to just see where else we can find information on her. I've shared with you the New York Post article, the New York Daily News, NBC, WSCO, SOC the Huffington Post, USA Today. I've shared with you everything that I can find. Here's another one. Let me share this one instead. Okay. So I am watching for the New York State Police to make a statement, but let's go through this. So overjoyed, police say Charlotte Sena found in good health. This is just like the best day ever. And it's basically the same thing. Charlotte Sena, a 9-year-old, went missing on Saturday at the New York State Park, has been found safe. Police say Monday a suspect is in custody. So Charlotte has been located in good health. I think that's like the other best news, that she was found in good health. They have the governor's tweets here. She says, I promised Charlotte's parents we would get her back. I'm overjoyed at this news. That's a big promise to make, but she made it and she kept her word. After a 48-hour long search, Charlotte Sena has been found. Extremely grateful to the New York State Police, New York State Parks Police, and all of our partners who work tirelessly. And I just want to give so much credit to you. So, okay, here's some more information. The suspect allegedly left a ransom note. Wow. Okay, so this is new, breaking new. So the suspect allegedly left a ransom note. This is coming out of the Times-Union newspaper of Albany. This is just breaking news. The New York State Police issued a statement on Monday evening confirming that Charlotte Sena had been found safe and that more information would be released later. The Times-Union neighbor of Albany reported. The newspaper citing anonymous sources. That's not unusual in journalism. It's typical to use anonymous sources. They will verify who it is, but a lot of times sources don't want to come forward and say who they are. It may be somebody that slips information to this newspaper, because this is a New York based newspaper out of Albany, which is just about 45 minutes south of where the Lake Moreau Park was. So anonymous source said that the suspect allegedly left a note at the home of Sena's parents. So this was planned. The suspect allegedly has a criminal history that includes SA. Police allegedly raided a residence in Milton on Monday evening, located about 13 miles of the Sena residence in the Porter's Corners. Okay, so this is brand new. Let's go through this one more time. So this is an anonymous source, but it's coming to the Times-Union. That's a big, Albany's the capital of New York. For those of you that don't live in the United States or or in the New York area, Albany's the capital of New York. This is a big newspaper, and it's not uncommon for news sources to use anonymous sources. They are 45 minutes away from where this occurred, so they may have somebody that they could pick up the phone and call in law enforcement. So they're citing anonymous sources say that the suspect allegedly left a note at the home of Sena's parents. So this is why they knew it was an abduction. So I think we have a little piece of the puzzle there. The suspect allegedly has a criminal history that includes SA. I'm watching my words. Police allegedly raided a residence in Milton on Monday evening, located about 13 miles of the Sena residence in the Porter's Corners, the Times Union reported. So let me pull up the Times Union out of Albany and see if I can pull this up for you guys. This is breaking news. Times Union. Let's see. Can you guys see it? Okay, so we're just like breaking all of this live as we go. All right, so let's see what they say. Charlotte Sena found a live suspect in custody. Arrest and rescue of the 9-year-old girl came 2 days after she was abducted. First responders were searching. Multiple law enforcement sources say that the 9-year-old has been found alive and suspect her abduction. The suspect in her abduction is in custody. So the sources say that a 51-year-old suspect, okay, so we're finding out more here. Okay, I'm going to watch my words as I deliver this to you. The sources say that a 51-year-old suspect who allegedly has an SA criminal history. So this was planned. Allegedly left a note at Sena's parents' house, possibly demanding some type of ransom in connection with her disappearance. This is probably why they got the FBI involved. Those sources also said that the police had raided a house in Milton. That's where her family lives. I didn't want to say, but that is where they live. It's nearby where they live. Let me just say that. The residence is on Barrett Road off Middle Line Road. So they raided it on tonight, within the last hour and a half. That resident is on Barrett Road off Middle Line Road, about 13 miles south of where Charlotte Sena lived with her family in Porter's Corners near Corinth. The Times Union is not identifying, so they know who this is. The Times Union is not identifying the suspect, who has ties to the Glens Fall area in Warren County, because police have not confirmed his arrest. He was convicted, I'm not going to say this, of SA in 1997, sentenced up to 15 years in prison for, I can't say this on the air. I hope you guys can read it. I have it highlighted. For acts with kids. The state police issued a statement on Monday evening saying that she had been found and that more information would be released. A couple of hours before the notice was issued, a large contingent of state police had a gathering at a parking lot at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center off Route 50. This is the best and most up-to-date information that we're getting. So, roughly 20 unmarked state police vehicles, military-style tactical vehicles, and at least one helicopter were there, along with troopers who were dressed in camouflage, appeared to be SWAT team members. State police blocked off Barrett Road on Monday evening, preventing motorists from entering the residential street. So this is breaking news, and I'm going to go to WFLA, but let's go through this first, because they're going to have more. WFLA is based out of Florida. These people are going to have more, in my opinion, because this is a local news. Okay. So this is the latest. So it's unmarked state police vehicles, military style tactical vehicles, and at least one helicopter arrived at this guy's house. Along with troopers, they were all dressed in camouflage. They appeared to be SWAT team members. State police blocked off Barrett Road on Monday night. They prevented motorists from entering this residential street, and they got the guy, and they saved Charlotte. I read to you the governor's statement. We are overjoyed at the news that Charlotte Sena has been located safely. I'm going to pull up WFLA in just a second. Thank you to the New York State Police, New York State Park Police, who all worked tirelessly to find Charlotte. It's because of their efforts Charlotte will be able to return home safely to her family. So the arrest was made less than 3 hours after state police said the search has expanded over 48 linear miles, and approximately 400 certified search and rescue personnel from dozens of federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies, as well as fire departments, were actively searching for Charlotte. The State Department of Environmental Conservation forest rangers were leading the search. State police said on Monday, they told the Times-Union that the investigation was focused on the theory that the girl, they're talking about Charlotte, had been abducted. They also said the investigation was focused on whether her abduction may have been the result of someone deliberately targeting her or her family. So that ransom note was huge. Let's finish going through this because this is really, really important. An Amber Alert set out at 9:35 a.m. Sunday said that the child was taken under circumstances that lead police to believe that they are in imminent danger of serious harm or worse. I'm watching my words. Multiple following alerts went out on people's phones between Sunday afternoon and Monday morning with the same update that Charlotte's height and eye color were wrong. So her eyes were green. Her height was 4 feet 6 inches, not 5'1", as initially put in the Amber Alert. Senior investigator told the Times-Union late Monday afternoon, and the reason I'm going through this is that this is a local news outlet. They're going to have sources with the police. So I think this is going to be our best bet to get the most information. So a senior investigation told the Times-Union late Monday afternoon that the investigation was largely focused on theories that the child was pulled into a vehicle against her will or dragged into the woods. Okay, so you combine that with the fact that there was a ransom note that was left at her parents' house, and then they figured out who. So they had a theory that she had been pulled against her will or dragged into the woods. That's what we were worried about yesterday. I showed you how dense those woods are. Let's keep going through this article. This is really great information. On Monday, state police asked the public to come forward with any information that might aid in their search. Thanks to you guys. When a child disappears, members of the community often have information they do not realize is valuable. This information is crucial in establishing a timeline of what happened. You may have seen or heard something valuable in the search for Charlotte. Whether you were there to take a walk, camping with your family or friends, or other activities, we ask that you contact law enforcement. So as media gathered Monday, and we all noticed that they did not have a press release this afternoon. We were all kind of like, where's the press release? I thought they were or a press conference or something. They were quiet. They were quiet because they were figuring, they knew probably who it was. They just didn't know where he was. So as media gathered on Monday, a wide variety of first responders were seen coming and going through the park entrance. They included state police cars, communication vehicles, SUVs, and a host of area fire companies. So for those of you that are just joining us, this is an inside source that has gone to a local Albany, this is the capital of New York, outlet to tell us what really happened. So if you're just joining us, let's just go through it one more time. A 51-year-old suspect who allegedly has an SA criminal history left a ransom note at Trish and David's home. That's Charlotte Sena's parents, possibly, we don't know for sure, demanding some type of ransom in connection with her disappearance. Sources have also shared with the Times-Union, again, this is a newspaper out of the capital of New York. They're going to have inside sources that other major news outlets may not have. Those sources also said that the police had raided a house on Milton Monday evening. This house was on Barrett Road off of Middle Line Road, about 13 miles from where Charlotte Sena lived with her family in Porter's Corner near Corinth. The Times-Union is not identifying the suspect. We do know that they are telling us that he has ties to the Glens Fall area in Warren County because the police have not confirmed that this is the guy. But he was convicted of essay in 1997, sentenced to 15 years in prison, and unfortunately, they let him out. That's too bad. But state police issued, so I'm going to go into how they caught the guy in just a second. State police issued a statement on Monday evening saying that Charlotte Sena had been found and that more information would be released at a later date. A couple of hours later, that notice was issued, and a large contingent of state police were seen gathered at the parking lot at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center off Route 50. So it sounds like a plan was getting put into place. They wanted to make sure they got the guy, and I'm going to go through this next part. So, how did they catch this guy? Well, around 20 unmarked state police vehicles, military style tactical vehicles, and at least one helicopter were there at the suspect's house with troopers who were dressed all in camouflage. So they did appear to be SWAT team members, according to the Times-Union, which is at Albany, capital of New York State newspaper. State police blocked off Barrett Road on Monday evening and prevented motorists from entering that residential street. So they wanted to make sure nobody got hurt, and they were able to get her out safely. So they got her out. So the arrest was made 3 hours after state police said that the search had expanded over 46 linear miles. Approximately 400 certified search and rescue personnel from dozens of federal, state, and local law enforcement agencies, as well as fire departments, were actively searching for Charlotte. And the state of environmental conservation forest rangers were leading the search. And boy, did they do a great job. So, state police have confirmed to the Times-Union that the investigation was focused on the theory that Charlotte had been abducted. They thought this because a ransom note had been left, and they thought she had been pulled off her bike and dragged into the woods, or lured into the woods. They also said that the investigation was focused on whether her abduction may have been the result of somebody deliberately targeting. Well, we know now that there was a ransom note, according to the media. So, a senior investigator told the Times-Union late on Monday that the investigation was largely focused on the theories that Charlotte had been pulled into a vehicle against her will or dragged into the woods. So it makes me wonder if they did have something on camera, maybe, or the way that that bike was found. Maybe the bike was found in the bushes. On Monday, they were still looking for help, but they got him. They got him, and that's how they caught him. Let's see if you guys have any questions on that. So that is, I'm going to just look to see if we have an update from the state police of New York. I'm just looking for any updates. They have not updated us yet. But what I just shared with you is the latest information from the Union Times. Because they are a local paper, they're going to have sources that other news outlets just simply don't have, which is why I wanted to check with them and just see what we could find. I promised you I was going to share this.
But at her actual house, located about 15 minutes away in the Greenfield area.
So this is
WFLA. This again points back and circles back to reporting. Just how targeted of an incident was this? Why was Charlotte Sena, if she was targeted, why was she targeted? And does the suspect have any connection to the family? Was it a stranger who committed a crime of opportunity, or was there some form of a connection that existed between the abductor, something happened between the abductor and the family that we just don't know about. I'm like rambling here because I'm trying to piece it all together in my mind, but
and I don't even know if they know.
Let's also
what really
ask this
happened.
question. It begs to be asked, but this is going to be a future question. The suspect, according to the Albany Times-Union, allegedly has a sexual abuse criminal history.
They have the same article that I just read out to you.
If this person has been convicted of a crime of sexual abuse in the past, how long has this person been out? Should they have been out at all? There's so many questions that now we find ourselves asking because, of course, of this new information.
And we have quite a few of them
if you're just joining us, a press
I just shared the article with you.
To be in the works. We're going to carry it here for you on this live stream, but has to be stated, hasn't popped up yet, and we haven't heard anything about it just yet.
So he's still figuring it out too. But they're saying that it's a 51-year-old suspect who allegedly had an SA criminal history.
Yeah, nothing.
Had been sentenced to 15 years in jail for doing this in 1997.
I have been told that there are certain media, certain channels, certain websites, news websites, everyone is just on standby to launch their press conference coverage. And so I'm not the only one waiting. You're not the only one waiting. A lot of different media agencies are waiting for any kind of an update as to when this press conference is going to occur. And it's been radio silence. The only thing that we have is from the New York State Police. But you know what? Their newsroom website, where we originally had this information from to begin with, so we're just going to refresh. Aha.
I agree with you, Pam.
New press conference. Or no, press release, excuse me. And now, new. All right, so a lot coming in the last 30 seconds. Stand by.
Please subscribe if you haven't already, and give this a thumbs up.
One news station in New York is reporting. Aha, okay, got it. Okay, here it is. From New York State Police, this release out moments ago, and I'm going to read it as follows. And we'll put away this comment and also to mute some of the background audio here as we leave up this shot. All right, this is just in. On October 2nd, 2023, through the course of the investigation, State Police identified an individual as being in the area of Moreau Lake State Park around the time Charlotte went missing. Further investigation led to the search of multiple residences where the individual is known to reside. Upon the search of those residences at approximately 6:32 p.m. on October 2nd, 2023, State Police located Charlotte Sena safe and in good health. The suspect was taken into custody. This investigation is a culmination of multiple agencies working together for the common goal of bringing this child home to her loving family. We cannot emphasize enough how appreciative we are for the support we received from Charlotte's community, friends, and family. This is still an active investigation. More details will be shared as they become available. In addition, a press briefing will be planned for tomorrow, October 3rd, 2023. The location and the time will be published to the newsroom as soon as it becomes available. Man, let me tell you something. New York State Police said that this is the only way you're going to get information. They meant it. You can't find this on or really anywhere other than their official newsroom website. But okay, what do we learn here? We learn that there were multiple residences that were then searched for this individual. An individual as being in the area of Moreau Lake State Park around the time that Charlotte went missing.
He had taken her.
How did law enforcement find out that this individual was there? Was it surveillance video? Was it a cell phone ping? Was it a witness that came forward? A tip? We don't know. Further investigation led to the search of multiple residences where the individual is known to reside. That in and of itself is a curious sentence, is it not? I don't know about you. I got one house at the one place I live. I know that there are people out there who have multiple places where they live. But somebody, again, if the Albany Times-Union report is correct, somebody with a sexual abuse criminal history residing in different places, that all of a sudden doesn't sound exactly right. Upon the search of those residences at approximately 6:32 p.m., state police located Charlotte Sena safe and in good health, and the suspect was taken into custody. All right, so now it's going to be the refresh game. And let me explain the refresh game. Because if that individual is being processed tonight, okay, I can already tell you, I'm giving you a little behind the scenes as to how it works, at least in the news world. All of the different areas where he could be processed, you're refreshing to see if anybody is showing up in the jail log. Somebody with a charge related to abduction or kidnapping, violation of parole potentially. I mean, these are things that could pop up because then even before the press conference occurs the next day, again tomorrow, then you have people then saying, okay, this person was just arrested in upstate New York in connection to and really facing these charges. So that's probably what's going to happen now. In fact, I'm sure that people are already checking jail logs in New York, trying to find anything that resembles an arrest, with the charge of, kidnapping or an abduction-related charge.
And we know it's a 51-year-old suspect.
Man, I'll tell you what, though, law enforcement
history,
New York State Police, the act of heroism here. Okay, think about the joy that this family is going to have as they finally get some rest tonight.
You're right, Tara.
And they can sleep with Charlotte safe in their arms. I mean, this is the stuff that gives you chills. This is the stuff that really makes you grateful when you get news of this caliber and you hear about law enforcement agencies coming together, volunteers coming together.
And you guys came together.
It's just extraordinary what can be done when, that there's a single goal, and there's a single goal in this case. There has been since Saturday of finding Charlotte safe and sound, and they did so. But I want to know what the investigative breakthrough was that led to this discovery, because it's clearly one that
I think it was that ransom
might have saved her life.
I do. I think the ransom note.
And saved her from something extraordinarily sinister. So,
no, I
Joanne
don't
on
think so.
Facebook Live wants to know. And YouTube comments, we'll get you guys loaded up. Who is the subject? I don't know. I do not know.
Do you have a source for that, Dukes?
But whoever it is accused of doing a bad thing. Really bad. Okay? Doesn't get more plain than that. Okay, what's this new video coming up? All right. Again, the stream center is still active. Feeds still coming in. This looks to be, let's
we don't know yet.
Put this away. Okay, so this is what we call feeding B-roll. Okay, so latched onto this signal, and this is a reporter path or a photographer path. They are feeding back video now. Oh no, actually this is the B-roll that we had earlier. Scratch that. I saw a different feed pop up, and they were getting ready to feed back video. In fact, I'll show this to you here. This is what I was talking about. They're getting ready to feed back video, and they were preparing to roll it through. So I'll keep my eyes here on that. Apologies for the confusion. I was looking in one place and didn't know what everybody else was seeing on the stream. So yes, press conference tomorrow, a press conference that we'll have for you here on WFLA Now.
So we're not going to find out more till tomorrow. Oh, I'm so glad. Opinion Einstein. I'm so glad for the family. So this is what we know so far.
Here in the stream center, welcome in, folks. Man, a little bit of relief, right? You guys feel it?
I'm going to come back to JB in just a second. I just want to read out to you what I know, because I don't know if JB has this or not. But we were on this. We found a local news outlet that has an inside source, and they are reporting that the suspect is a 51-year-old suspect who allegedly has an SA criminal history. He served 15 years in jail for doing this to other kids. He allegedly left a ransom note at Charlotte's parents' house, possibly demanding some type of ransom in connection with her disappearance. The sources also say that police raided a house in Milton on Monday night. The house is on Barrett Road off Middle Line Road, about 13 miles south from where Charlotte Sena lived with her family in Porter's Corners. The Times-Union has not identified the suspect, who has ties, but they're telling us they have ties to Glens Fall area in Warren County, and they're not identifying it because the police have not confirmed his arrest. He was convicted of SA in 1997, sentenced to 15 years, and now he was caught. Let's listen back in to JB.
Talking to you guys about just human nature. A little 9-year-old girl is abducted. We don't know if she knew her abductor in any way. Was it a neighbor? Was it somebody that she was familiar with? We have no idea. But regardless, you would imagine that she's terrified.
Okay, thanks, Amy.
When she's found, right? So,
thank you, Tara.
I mean, I understand New York State Police are saying that she's in good health. It's a very short description.
We don't know yet.
Very short label. Doesn't tell us a whole lot. You just hope that she,
correct. No, mentally, we don't have a name.
What she has been through, being away from her family, and right, by all accounts, everything that we have heard, this is a smart 9-year-old girl. Okay, so if she's,
I don't want to get into like a political thing, guys. I just want to focus on the fact that the little girl
bike is left on the side of the road.
Let's leave that out.
You just hope that she's okay here and that it wasn't. I would imagine it was traumatizing. That's all I can say. Hope she's all right.
It is being reported that she is okay.
Yeah, I mean, we got comments like this coming in. The only way I could see a scenario where she isn't exactly, quote unquote, traumatized by this experience is if she knew her abductor and felt that she was safe, that she was lulled into a false sense of security. If that happened.
Great question, Phil.
Again, just so much that we don't know.
You're right. So,
yeah, Makeup by Rocky, one of our moderators on YouTube Live, saying it's a.
I'm going to come right back to JB, but let me just go through because we have a lot of information that's. I'm not sure why they're not reporting it out. Maybe they haven't had a chance to go through everything. But a senior investigator told the Times-Union, that's a newspaper out of Albany, New York, that Albany is the capital of New York. They're about 45 minutes away from where all of this went down. They are telling the Times-Union late Monday that an investigation was largely focused on theories that Charlotte had been pulled into the vehicle against her will or dragged into the woods. So this may have been the way that her bike was found. It could have been they have had some kind of image of maybe somebody pulling her, but didn't see what they pulled her into or where they pulled her, because that park does have cameras. So on Monday, state police were asking everybody to come forward with anything that they had. So this is what went down, okay, that night. I just want you guys to be in the know. This is how they got the guy. Let me just pull this up. So this is a 51-year-old suspect who allegedly has an SA criminal history. He left reportedly a ransom note at Charlotte's parents' house. possibly, we don't know, demanding some kind of ransom in exchange for returning her. We do know that this is how that it went down. This is according to the Times Union out of Albany, New York. Sources are saying that the police raided a house in Milton on Monday evening, that the residence is on Barrett Road off Middle Line Road, about 13 miles south from where Charlotte, her parents, Dave and Tricia, and her two sisters lived in Porter's Corner, which is very near Corinth, New York. Now, the Times Union has not identified the suspect. I've seen people floating out a couple of names, but here's what we do know. This guy has ties to Glen Falls, if this is the guy, and they're not putting out the name because the Times Union does not have confirmation from law enforcement. I'm going to go back to JB in just a second, but he has ties to Glen Falls in the Warren area. Police have not confirmed his arrest yet. He was convicted of SA back in 1997, sentenced to 15 years, was let out at some point, we don't know when, and did it again. Police issued a statement on Monday saying that Charlotte had been found and more information would be alerted. So a SWAT-like team went in and got it. Let's listen in to JB.
Ah, interesting. The Albany Times Union, they know who he is. The Times Union is not identifying the suspect who has ties to the Glen. No way.
He's reading the same article I just read.
I've been here. Glen Falls. The Times Union is not identifying the suspect who has ties to the Glens Falls area in Warren County because police had not confirmed his arrest. He was convicted of sodomy in 1997 and sentenced up to 15 years in prison.
Trigger warning,
for
guys.
Supplying young boys with drugs and engaging in sexual acts with them.
Trigger warning. It's so sad they let this guy out. That just...
I'm going to read this one more time because there is more information now that they're updating the story. And again, big shout out to the Albany Times Union. I think that they just go by Times Union now. They've dropped the Albany because Albany, Schenectady, Troy, there's a lot of different areas and outside of Albany too, Saratoga Springs. But I'm just going to read this, and full attribution to the great folks over at the Times Union who work really hard. Okay. Multiple law enforcement sources said that the 51-year-old suspect, who has a sexual abuse criminal history, allegedly left a note at Sena's parents' house, possibly demanding some type of ransom in connection with her disappearance. Those sources also said that police had raided a house in Milton on Monday evening. That residence is on Barrett Road, off of Middle Line Road, about 13 miles south, where Charlotte Sena lived with her family in Porter's Corners, near Corinth. The Barrett Road residence is where a relative of the suspect apparently lives, and the girl may have been found in some type of a trailer on the property, according to a law enforcement source. The Times Union is not identifying the suspect, who has ties to the Glen Falls area in Warren County, because police had not confirmed his arrest. He was convicted of sodomy in 1997 and sentenced to up to 15 years in prison for plying young boys with drugs and engaging in sex acts with them. I'm not going to read any more. I'd like, you can always support the hard work of the journalists who work in these respective areas of the country. The Times Union covers Albany, Troy, Schenectady a lot.
Okay, so he doesn't want to read the rest. I will read the rest to you because we've gone through this article. We had it first. And I have credited Times Union repeatedly through this, but they are saying, I just want to go through the SWAT information of how they got the guy. They are saying that they closed off the road. There was at least one helicopter, multiple vehicles. It looked like a SWAT team. The guys were dressed in camouflage, and they surrounded the house and went in and got her. They went in and got her. Let's listen in back to JB.
Times Union. So please give them a follow. Please go click on their article every time you click on an article, you might not know this, but you're supporting local journalism. When you're avoiding the national news outlets and you're going to some of the newspapers, television channels, radio stations that are actually local to that area, and you click on their article, you're supporting local journalism. I'm a big supporter of local journalism because I'm a local journalist. So
I can relate.
just want to say Times Union is doing an outstanding job on this story, using well-placed sources within multiple law enforcement agencies, or I should say multiple law enforcement sources in the agencies on this story or on this case. So you know what? I'm just going to put this in the chat. Or I can't really do it on Facebook, but I'll do it here.
I'll drop the article in the comment section below also, because I do, but I wanted to go to them because I figured that this particular outlet would have information that other news sources would not, because they would have inside sources at the police. So this guy the police have not confirmed his arrest. We know he was convicted back in 1997. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison for engaging in SA. So they should have left him in there and thrown away the key. Unfortunately, he was let out. And these guys, we don't know of any way to rehabilitate them. We don't know. There's no rehabilitation. They just continue to reoffend. They don't stop unless they're stopped. There's been nothing shown that really works to rehabilitate these guys. So in my opinion, once they're convicted, they should be put into jail. And I'm going to get back to JB in just a second, but I want to go through how they got it. So roughly 20 unmarked state police vehicles, military style tactical vehicles, reportedly, according to the Times Union of Albany, and at least one helicopter were there, along with troopers who were dressed in camouflage and appeared to be SWAT team members. State police blocked off Barrett Road on Monday evening and prevented motorists from entering the residential street. They then went in and they got Charlotte and arrested this guy. How did they find him? He left a ransom note. Let's listen in to JB.
We'll bring them up here on screen. Facebook Live. We'll load up the latest Facebook comments. Let's see here. Kelly says, #JB, I know that she is safe and our prayers were answered. We now pray that she is all right. You're not alone. I think a lot of people, Marguerite says, #JB, a child was found. Thank God. And I think that this comment might be a little bit tongue-in-cheek because
yes, exactly, Angel Dust.
How many cases that we have that shout out to the custodial staff making an appearance on the live stream, by the way. I don't think he knows I'm live. No, he doesn't. He has his. Might have his
so the
AirPods
New York
in.
State Police are going to have a press conference tomorrow.
But, hey man,
we're going to find out more.
Marguerite's comment here, I think, is a little bit tongue-in-cheek, simply because a child was found. And so many cases that we have covered on this live stream don't end with this scenario, with this outcome. So grateful that the child was found, that Charlotte was found and is said to be in good health. But how did this happen, and how is she really? Is she really okay?
She's alive. She was found. It could have gone a lot worse.
Connie Jean Haynes says, #Hey JB, do you know where they found her? Well, if the Albany Times Union's latest report, and I'm sure that they're going to be updating their reporting over the course of the night. Again, go give them a read, folks. But
yeah, I'm watching their site. I'm on
read this again.
Albany Times.
The girl
site
may have
now.
been found in some type of trailer on the property, according to a law enforcement source. All right, look. Little girl abducted, taken from her bike ride, and found in a trailer. I don't know about you guys. That sounds to me like a terrifying experience. Terrifying. Now, if there was...
So I'm wondering if the trail... I'm going to get back to JD in just a second. I'm wondering if that trailer was with them at the campground. if they had the trailer with them at the campground, if it was just being pulled, and that's how they got him. Let's listen into JB.
Health is what, the terminology that was used by New York State Police. We hear she's doing okay, but just how traumatizing of an experience this might have been, it just makes you wonder if she's really okay. I think a lot of people, it's only natural to wonder how she's really doing. Maureen wants to know, all these questions are already coming in. Why was he let out of jail?
Yeah.
Right. We don't even know who he is yet. We just know that he's 51 years old and that he did some really disturbing things, according to authorities back in 1997, again, per the Albany Times-Union or Times-Union report. So
what he did was just beyond disturbing. He should have never been let out. Never, ever been let out.
I see the first name. I see the last name. I understand that is the name that is being shared tonight. And the Times-Union knows this name. They're just not reporting it because they have standards. And there are standards here with what we do in the news, okay? And the standards are
that's
that
the right thing
until
to do.
there is a record of the arrest,
that's right.
They are not going to proceed with naming the suspect until it is put out by a credible source or it shows up in a jail log and it's reportable in that capacity. Social media, I hear you. I see the name. I got it. In fact, I've seen it for a while, but can't report it until it meets our criteria, our thresholds for reporting information.
This is why I use mainstream media for my journalistic sources. I get a little bit of pushback on that, but the reason is they do have standards. They can't just report any old thing. And JB is very ethical. A lot of media people are very ethical. So they do know the name. Let me turn this back up. But we think, but we don't have a confirmation.
Amy, was this
from
girl
the law
riding her bike
enforcement, so
alone?
we're not reporting
She
it. I'm not
wasn't,
reporting
and
it
then
either.
she was. The story goes that she was riding with her friends or cousins. Different descriptors have been used. Excuse me.
It was
She
her
was doing
sisters.
laps around Loop A, and then as they returned back to the campsite place where they were staying, that she was allowed to go around one more time by herself because she wanted to. She wanted to do one more lap on her bike. Can you imagine how cute that is for a little girl who just wants to do one more lap by herself to prove that she's a big girl? I mean, in essence, that's how the story has been described.
I agree, Pam.
It's adorable to think about, but it's an adorable story that that took a really terrifying and dark, twisted turn when we now believe, based on all accounts, that she was abducted from that one lap around. Was there somebody just sitting, waiting for her? Somebody in the woods just waiting for their opportunity? Who waited for that one extra lap?
And I'm just going to break in here and say, yes, I'm going to go back to JB in just a second, but yes, I believe this was planned. They left reportedly a ransom note at her parents' house. So this was planned. They were lying in wait for
tomorrow.
This little girl.
And our press conference coverage tomorrow, we'll have here on this live stream. And what we'll try to do, of course,
thank you to our mods,
is
channel members, subscribers,
is have pre-press conference coverage, post press conference coverage, and try to provide you guys with analysis in addition to the highest quality press conference stream possible. Man, Glen Falls, New York. I'm trying to think of when I was there last. That's another place I know. And I'm trying to remember. It's a small little town.
It's very small.
Located right on the Hudson River.
Yep.
North of Saratoga Springs. I'm trying to remember if I had a friend that I knew there or.
So
Saratoga Springs, I remember.
Well, he figures out his connections where he was there. It is a very small area. The towns are very small in upstate New York. This information is coming from the Times-Union, which is a newspaper out of the capital of New York. And they are sharing that gentleman, I'm not going to say his name. I don't want to put his name on social media, but he runs a home remodeling business in Saratoga Springs. He worked with Charlotte's dad and is close with the family was outside the park on Monday morning. He said that the last 2 days has been harrowing. He's speaking on behalf of the family. He said that the last 2 days were harrowing for the family. He said that the family is hurting. You can't imagine what the last 36 hours have been for them. It's been devastating. And so he is speaking on behalf of the family. There was a vigil last night. They wrote, "We love you, Charlotte." It was written in the sand with candles forming a C in the middle. That was on the sandy shore of the Hudson River behind the Corinth Free Library Sunday night. That was last night at 7 p.m. So how did they get this guy? Well, he wrote, according to the Albany Times Union, I'll be linking the article in the description below, he wrote a ransom note and left it at Charlotte's parents' house. So she was reportedly found in a trailer. So was this a trailer that was towed to the campground? Or did they follow the family there? Was this guy lying in wait for her, waiting for her to come along? Was he stalking her? Had he fixated on her? We don't have the answers to that. We won't know until the press conference tomorrow. And I'm going to get right back to JB in just a second. But they went in with a SWAT team once they figured out who the guy was, where the guy was. They converged together in the afternoon at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center. And then they went into the neighborhood. They blocked it off. And they went in and they got her, reportedly out of this trailer. Let's listen into JB.
And Instagram, you know the places. And you might see it as well on there too. And then, of course, we will launch our pre-press conference live stream. The exact time for that will be on my social media platforms. You can follow me at WFLA JB. Thanks so much for joining us here, folks, on WFLA Now. Really appreciate it. My goodness, Charlotte Sena found safe and reportedly in good health. It's the news we want to hear.
So, for those of you, let me just share this one more time for those of you that are just joining us. Just going through this one more time, how they found what we know so far. There's more still coming out. Charlotte Sena found alive, suspect in custody. So, how did they find it? Multiple law enforcement sources have told the Times Union, this is an Albany-based paper. They're about 45 minutes south of where all of this happened at the Moreau Lake State Park. They are reporting that it is a 51-year-old suspect. They haven't named him yet because they can't until this guy has been arrested or they get more information from law enforcement. He has an essay criminal history. He had been sentenced to jail for 15 years back in 1997 for doing this, and apparently just continued to do this after he got out because they don't stop. These guys need to never be let back out once they're convicted. It just needs to be a life sentence forever. So how did they catch him? Well, he reportedly left a note at Charlotte's parents' home, possibly demanding, I've heard definitely, and I've heard possibly, demanding some type of ransom in connection with her disappearance, her abduction. This was an abduction. So those sources have said that the police raided a house in Milton on Monday night. The house was on Barrett Road, off Middle Line Road, about 13 miles south. So he hadn't gotten very far with her, where Charlotte Sena lived with her family in Port Corners near Corinth. The Barrett Road residence is where a relative of the suspect apparently lives, and she may have been found in some type of trailer on the property. So the big question is, was this trailer parked at the campground? Did they follow this family? Did this guy follow the family to the campground, camp nearby, lie in wait for Charlotte, saw his chance, and got her? I'm going to be very careful with my words here. Trigger warning. The Times Union is not immediately identifying the suspect. He has ties to the Glen Falls area in Warren County because law enforcement have not confirmed his arrest. So it would be irresponsible. He has been convicted of SA with minors and was sentenced to 15 years and got out. So they are saying, state police are saying that Charlotte Sena has been found and is in, as it, and quote, is in good health, and that more information will be released on Tuesday. That's tomorrow. As soon as I have a time for the press conference, I will let you know. If they post it before I go to bed tonight, I'll post it for you. A couple of hours before the notice was issued, so right before all of this, this is what went down. A couple of hours, a large contingent of state police gathered in a parking lot at the Saratoga Performing Arts Center, which is off Route 50. 20 unmarked state police vehicles, give or take, military-style tactical vehicles, and at least one helicopter were there, along with troopers who were dressed in camouflage. They appeared to be SWAT team members, because remember, their job is to go in, get Charlotte, and get her out safely. State police blocked off Barrett Road on Monday evening. This prevented motorists from coming onto the street while they were conducting their arrest of this guy and their rescue of Charlotte. And they went in and they extracted her safely. She is safe. An arrest was made. The arrest was made less than 3 hours after state police said their ongoing search had expanded over 46 linear miles. Approximately 400 certified search and rescue personnel from dozens of federal, state, and local enforcement agencies, as well as fire departments, were actively searching for Charlotte after she vanished Saturday evening at the Moreau Lake State Park, where she had been camping with her family and friends. She had been riding her bike on the small little Loop A, which was dotted with little campsites. And that's where he must have pulled her off that bike or lured her away from everything. Lured her away from her family, from her loved ones, to get her. And again, this is being reported by the Albany Times Union. I will link it for you guys, just so you can know. I do want to thank our executive producers, Jan Brooks, Spirit Walker. Oh, let me hold on one second. And Jane J, our producers, Diane, Sasha Angel, and our channel members. If you want to be a channel member, you just hit the join button and you can have your name appear on every live stream, every video that I put out, unless it's just a trailer for a major one. Thank you so much for joining me on this important day. I think we covered a lot of ground, and thankfully this little girl was found safe. I give so much credit to each and every one of you guys, because without you, I don't know if this would have happened. I really don't know. I think you guys are a major part of finding her. I think the fact that you helped get her name out there, that you guys had her name all over social media, you had her on your Facebook pages, you had her on Twitter, you were retweeting and sharing everything you could find. And I think you played such a critical role in helping to bring this child home. This guy had nowhere to go with her. He had nowhere to go with her. And then law enforcement was able to catch him. So we are very, very fortunate to have this positive outcome. This doesn't happen every time, but I knew that I knew that 48 hours was precious. I shared that with you guys yesterday. So thank you to each and every one of you that participated in this, that helped get the word out there, because you guys and your prayers, we had prayers going for her last night too. Thank you to each and every one of you, because you guys also, along with the police, helped to ensure that this had a positive outcome for little 9-year-old Charlotte. She will be able to go back to 4th grade and serve in her student council. So thanks to each and every one of you. And I will see you next time. Please subscribe. It helps me out so much, and it's free.